A letter of invitation does not guarantee that we will issue you. So you type in how to write an invitation letter. In this video, I will be telling you how to write an invitation letter for Canada. If somebody is sending you an invitation letter, they can know what to do and what not to do when writing the invitation letter. So you can share this video with your friends and family, leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So guys, it's not hard to write an invitation letter. All you need to do is to have the required information in that letter. So at the end of this video, guys, I'm going to share with you a sample invitation letter. So just stay tuned and watch this video all the way through to the end. When you're writing an invitation letter, there are some requirements, there are some information that you must include in the letter. Information about the person who is writing the letter, or the person who you are going to visit, and the information about yourself who will be visiting Canada. Here we go, let's go. Okay guys, so you can type in how to write an invitation letter for Canada visa. So you type in how to write an invitation letter. It pops up here, how to write an invitation letter for Canada visa. So I'm going to click on that one, and that's all you need to do. And here are the different options. So it says letter of invitation for visa to Canada, how to write a letter. You go there and it will take you to here. It takes you to the Canada website, canada.ca, letter of invitation, and it will give you the list of things that you need to include in the letter. So the first thing here is complete name. So you can see that says complete name, date of birth, address and telephone number, your relationship to the person. So this letter is written by the person you are going to stay with or the person you are visiting. So the relationship to that person, whether it's sister, brother, cousin, aunt, uncle, father, mother, family, friend. And then you have the purpose of the trip. So you're going to tell the purpose of the trip, whether you're coming for vacation, whether you're coming for medical reason, you're coming to attend a particular festival, you're coming to visit your mom, you're coming to just to explore Canada. So you're going to tell the purpose of your trip, how long the person plans to stay in Canada. So never let it be over 6 months, guys. So if you can keep it a limited amount of time, say a month, 2 months, but do not go too close to 6 months or over 6 months, because if you go over 6 months, it means that you're overstaying in the country. Where the person will stay and how he or she will pay for things. So if the person you're coming to will be paying for your things, or if you are going to pay for them yourself, that's fine. The person who's writing the letter is going to tell how you plan to take care of yourself when the person plans to leave Canada. So you're going to tell the date you're coming and the date you plan to leave. Alright, so everything is on the website, guys. So sometimes when you apply for a visa to visit Canada, we ask you to give us a letter of invitation from someone in Canada. A letter of invitation does not guarantee that we will issue a visa. Visa officers assess you to decide whether you meet the terms of Canada's immigration law. Information for persons writing the invitation letter. So these are the information, as I read before. It says you must include this information about the person you are inviting. So if you're going to write this letter to invite somebody to Canada, this is what you must include in the letter: complete name, date of birth, address and telephone number, your relationship to the person, the purpose of the trip, how long the person plans to stay in Canada, where the person will stay, and how he or she will pay for things, and when the person plans to leave Canada. You must include this information about yourself. So all that information above is the information about the person who will be visiting you. And then you're going to also include in the letter these information about yourself. So the writer must also include information about themselves. All right, person who writing the invitation must also include their complete name, their date of birth, address and telephone number in Canada, their job title, whether you are a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. So you must also tell your status. So the person must tell their status in Canada and a photocopy of a document providing your status in Canada. So if the person is a permanent resident, they must send a copy of their PR card, a Canadian birth certificate if you were born in Canada, details of your family such as names and dates of birth of your spouse and dependents. This is mandatory for parent and grandparent super visa. Okay, and you must also tell the total number of people living in your household, including people you sponsored whose sponsorship is still in effect. This is mandatory, guys, for the parent and grandparents super visa. All right, so for parent and grandparents super visa only, you must also provide. So if you're applying for your parents or you're applying for your grandparents, this you must include in the letter a written and signed promise of your financial support for your parents. So you must include this as well when you're applying. A written and signed promise of your financial support for your parents and grandparents for their entire stay in Canada, and proof of your income meets or in above the low income cutoff. That is the LICO for the total number of people, including the visiting parents or grandparents. So guys, remember this information is just a guide for you. So you must write the letter of invitation yourself. Some visa offices may ask that a notary public notarize your letter. Sometimes they may ask for the letter to be notarized, sometimes they may not. But to be on the safe side, you can go ahead and get it notarized by a public figure. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of what a sample letter looks like. Okay guys, so this is an example of what an invitation letter to Canada should look like. So first off, you're going to address the Canadian Embassy, so the immigration section. So you must include the address of the embassy that you're addressing and the complete address to the embassy that you're applying to. It also, you're going to have the letter of invitation for my, and you're going to tell who is the person that you're writing the letter of invitation is for. So it is for your brother, if it's for your sister, your mother, your father, your parents or grandparents, you're going to state that. Then you're going to address the officer. Because we do not know the officer's name, we are going to say their visa officer. This is just an example, guys, so you can word it in your own way, but as long as you have the information that is required for you to put in the letter. So it says, I am writing this letter of support for my parents, grandparents, father, whichever, for him or her temporary resident visa application to Canada. So that's the reason why you're writing this letter. The purpose of his strip, I'm going to refer to this person as a male, and this person's name is John. Okay, so the purpose of John's trip will to, and you're going to tell the reasons. John will stay at, and you tell the address. For example, you're going to say John will stay at 190 Field Hill Road, Brampton. Write the complete address along with the postal code. To say he planned to arrive in Canada on September 20, 2023, and he will stay until October 15, 2023. All right, so John will stay about less than a month in Canada. So that's the first paragraph. Then you're going to move on to state the costs of John's trip and financial support for the duration of his stay will be covered by, and if it's you, you're going to say by Mary or by me or by with whomever it's going to be covered by. All right, so you have to state the cost, who will be responsible, financially responsible for John's trip. Here guys, after you have stated all of that, because you have already tell where he's staying, you have already tell the name, how long he will be staying, and when he will be leaving. So after you have stated that, you are going to now have invited. So if you see here, it says invited guest, name, personal details are as follows. So you're going to give his personal details, date of birth, current address in home country. So you're going to write the address that John lived in his home country, his telephone number, his email address. Then it's you are now going to tell who you are. So you're going to tell about yourself. Now the person who is writing the letter will tell who they are, give information about themselves. So it says, I am a student. So if you're a student, you're going to write you're a student. Or if you're employed, you're going to write that you're employed, and you write the name of the place that you're employed at, or the name of the school that you're studying at. And if you're studying and you're not yet a permanent resident or a citizen, you must tell whether or not you have a valid study permit. Okay, you tell the details there about yourself, and you must include your personal details such as the date, your date of birth, current address, your telephone number, and email address. Please do not hesitate to contact me should you require further information. Sincerely, and you're going to sign, type your name, sign. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. So that's an example of what a sample letter looks like. Many sample letters on the internet. You can go and Google them and read them and use them as a guide, so you don't have to go word to word as the letters that are there, but you use them as a guide to write your invitation letter. So thank you guys for watching this video, and my next video that I'm going to do for you guys is to tell you how you can go up extend your stay in Canada as a visitor. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye guys.